Hi, Tim here from Proclaim AV, and today we're going to be taking a look at free display software. Let's check it out. So today we're taking a look at Video Psalm, and it is a free display software for evangelical churches. And we'll do a kind of quick overview. It's not going to cover all the things that Video Psalm will do. It's quite an extensive list, by the way. And we will see if maybe this is the right fit for your church. Okay, here we are at the Video Psalm website where you can download it. It is myvideopsalm.weebly.com. And there are, we're using the 1.27 beta download. But if you go to the downloads tab, there's an older version if you'd rather use that. I'm assuming that it's more stable, but I'm not sure. I haven't seen much of a difference, quite frankly, as far as stability. So please take a second to go over to Video Psalm's terms of use and read through that. It is a free to use software, but they do have some stipulations or terms of use. And so please honor their terms of use there. Okay, let's launch Video Psalm. So when you first get into Video Psalm, it's going to look like this. You're going to have 5 panels, essentially. And they're like this. The agenda panel. This is where you're going to drag in all your elements and order them in the order you want them to be for your presentation. The Songbooks and Bibles tab, where you'll be able to add songs and scripture verses. The Video Psalm, this is sort of the middle tab that shows, I don't know how to really describe it. I guess the best thing to say about it is that it shows all the attributes of whatever item that you've clicked on, if they're editable or you can change them. That'll be showing here. Over here is the slides panel, and what it shows are all the details of each slide. So we'll show you how that works in a minute. And then it also lets you click through elements of each slide to display them. And there are controls over here for the display. And finally, there's the preview panel that shows what is actually going to show on your screen. And we'll talk more about that in a second. So I thought the easiest way to kind of look through this is to build a really kind of basic Christmas service in our Video Psalm. And so let's do that. And as we walk through, we'll talk about the different features of Video Psalm, which will hopefully be helpful. Now, to get items into your agenda, there are a couple of things that you can do. One is that you can just drag something off your desktop. So like here, I have 2 slides. I can just drag them in here and they will show up. Now you'll notice that as soon as we have an item in here, that it's going to show in this center thing. It's going to tell you where it's from, what its name is, and that kind of thing. So that's what I mean by this showing attributes of whatever's highlighted. Now that we have something in here, it reminds us by putting a little asterisk here that you haven't saved this, and also that you haven't saved it because it's called Agenda Without a Name. And so we can just click on the disk icon, and then we can save our agenda. A Video Psalm will date this for the next Sunday service, and so we've already done that. And today is a different day anyway, so we'll just put a different date in here. And then anytime you've added another item, it'll do the asterisk again, remind you to save. So let's add another item by clicking on the Add a Document button. And that just goes to local folder, wherever you want to be. So we're going to add this slide. And we're going to add this video. So we'll hit Control and select that as well. And hit Open. Now you see that it's telling you you haven't saved it. So just go over here and click Save. And then we'll say Update it automatically. Okay, so we have several things in here. We have slides in here. And then you see that if I want to show this slide, I got to go over here to the slides panel and click on the slide, and it will show it in the preview window. And as I go to the next one, click. And the other thing that I can do over here is that I can just use this down arrow to advance through items that are in the agenda panel. Or if I like, I can use my key up and down arrow keys on my keyboard so I can actually go backwards or forwards. Or I can just hit my space bar, which will advance to the next slide automatically. Now over in this area, you have to make sure, right now we're not showing it. So this present button here displays the slides live. So we're seeing it in the preview window, but we have to click on this to be able to see the slides on our additional screen. Let's add a couple of more things. We want to add, I want to add one more picture here, so I'll drag that in. That's kind of our end slide. And then we want to add some songs, but we don't have any songbooks right now. So let's go up here to this little import button, and it's like a little green arrow pointing down. So let's grab that, and it will start the import assistant for us. We'll click next. We can import Bibles and songbooks. I've already imported a Bible, but I'll show you the songbook process. So import a songbook is highlighted. We want to do that. Next. And then there's an online library, or you can bring in songs from your hard drive if you already have a song collection. We'll just do the online library. Now there are a lot of songbooks or collections in a lot of languages, which is pretty cool. But we're looking for English. So here we are in English. We're going to add, let's add the Advent hymnal. Just a couple different songs. Okay. And you notice as we click on one, it will tell us this is 846 songs. Initial version is the Methodist Church of Great Britain, etc. So it gives you some information about the songbook. Let's go next. Yes, those are the three we selected. We want to import those. Finish. And now you see over here in the songbooks, we have several songbooks. If we click the little arrow, we can see all the different ones, all the different songs that are in each collection. If you want to search for one, just put it here in the search bar. Oh, little town of Bethlehem. And you can see it. There's numbers. It's in here twice. So I can do a couple things. I can drag it up here. Or let's look for our other song, and I'll show you how the second way to bring things in. We want the first Noel. There it is. And I can just click add because it's highlighted, and it will add it to my agenda. If I accidentally add it 2 times, not a problem. I can highlight one, click the red X, and remove the item from my agenda. Okay, I am done searching for songs. Let's add a scripture verse. So there are a couple ways I can do this. I can just type in the reference. I can type in John 1:1. And you can see that it is highlighted John chapter 1, verse 1. And it's also showing up here in the slide tab. And I just click add. The other way I can do it is I can select the book, Luke, the chapter 2, and in this case it's showing all the verses, but I only want 1 through 14. So what I'll do is click, hold, drag, and highlight the ones that I want, and click add. Now again, I'm not using John 1:1, so we're going to remove that from the agenda. Now you'll notice here that when we're in Luke 1 or 2, 1 through 14, it only shows us one line here. But over in the slide panel, you can see that all the different verses, and each one of those will be an individual slide. So as I click on it, it'll go through and change the slide. Now this is pretty basic display, and so if you want to make it a little fancier, you can go over here and change some different things. So in text, you can add effects to the text. We can try that. Doesn't look very good, so we'll go back to here. And there are several different text effects that you can do. Some of them are pretty crazy. We're just going to stick with a basic one for now. You can change the animation. So right now when we change between, you see the text comes up from above. So if we click it here, now it'll come down from below, or it'll come from the side. So we can change the animation. Personally, I'm not a fan of moving text, so I'll come over to like a fade through. And now it'll just do a quick fade through to the next text. Now, if you want to change the background to this, you can come over here. And there are different backgrounds available that you could put in as the background to your scripture verse. All right, we'll save that. Now, something to note here is that right now there are different style levels. So right now we're set on Bibles. Because we have changed the background and the text and all that, it changes it for the entire Bible. But you can change that so it's just for a particular verse, a particular chapter, particular book, particular testament, a particular Bible, if you had more than one Bible listed there. Okay, so there are a lot of options here. Right now, we're just kind of on the big overview. This works pretty much the same for hymns. So now I can change a whole songbook, or all the songbooks, or just one song when I change the background. So here, I'm on the first Noel. If I want to change the background to the first Noel, I do that. And same thing, I can change the animation of the background, or I can change the animation of the text. I can change the size of the text for the first Noel if I want to make it larger or smaller. I can center it in the middle. I can right or left, justify or center. All that sort of stuff is available here to change the text around the way you would like it to be. Also, I can change the text animation, which I'm going to do because I like the fade through much better. It's just a personal preference. So now when I switch to it, it fades through, and it will automatically adjust based on how much text is in each slide, whether it can be larger or smaller. And that, again, depends on the size of the font you have picked for it. That's a lot, I know. In the middle tab here, notice that you can do some things like you can actually edit the text of the song, which is probably something that you don't want to do. So, but it's possible. Let's put it back. All right. Something else you can do here in the slide portion, and let's say you want to skip a verse and a chorus, you can come in here and unselect that verse and chorus. And now if we're on verse 1, we go first chorus, then we go Noel, Noel, and then it's going to jump to verse 3 and by the light of that same star, and it's not going to show verses 2 and the additional chorus that you've unselected. That's a really great feature if you don't want to show all the verses of a particular song. Now we're going to do something interesting here because we can. Under each hymn, if you have the hymn selected here in this section, there's something called files, and you can associate a file with this. So I'm going to associate a piano music file of the first Noel, an MP3, with this song. I'm going to go over here and do the same thing with O Little Town of Bethlehem. Okay. Now here's something interesting. Let's go back to this photo here, and then we go next, and then you'll notice something when we display this now in O Little Town of Bethlehem. There is a player interface. If I click one more time, and now I can play back an audio file that's associated with that song. Now, let me mute that just for a second. you may note something, and that is that this won't automatically sync up with your words. You'll still have to manually click through until you've got the right words as the music goes along. But for a lot of small churches where they don't have somebody who can play their instruments every week, this is a great way to associate a music file that people can sing along with your slideshow. And that way you're not trying to play it from a different computer or something. You can just build it right in with VideoPsalm. One more thing, and that's if the music is going along and you click off the end of the slideshow, it will stop the music. So let's try the next one, which is the first Noel. It's going to show the slide first. Click one more time to start the music. Okay, now we've got most of our elements in place here, and the thing that we need to do is to sort of put them in order. And so this I want to go at the end here. So just grab it and drag it. I want my scripture verse after our announcements. Then there's a little video that we're going to watch, and then we're going to sing 2 songs, etc. And then, so just whatever order you want them in. Maybe I want my scripture verse down here because maybe that's part of my message for the day. So you can just drag these around into any order you would like once you have put them into the agenda panel. Then go ahead and save. Okay, so let's look at a couple things here. Now, up until now, we've been into a 5-window configuration because we have this edit and info page here in the middle, but we can click this pencil and that will take us out of edit mode. And then we'll just see the 4 panels we need, and that will give us more space, which is a really great mode to be in once you're actually going to run a service. So you'll start here, click your first slide so you're up, make sure that your screens are on, and you're ready to go. So let's go through. Here's our welcome, announcement number 1, announcement number 2, then our video. Now, again, when we play a video, we get controls here. We have volume control. We can mute and unmute. We've got this, pause and play. We can restart the video from the beginning. We can look at the elapsed time, hide the preview, a couple different things that we can do. Now there's one option in the video thing that we can't access during the non-edit mode, the display mode, and that is that we can't do looping. If I put it back into edit mode and we're on the video, that allows us to access something, a couple extra features. One, we can increase the proportions. See how we have these little black lines on the edge? The video doesn't quite fit. We can do that. And then we have a looping option, which will enable looping where the video will just play over and over again. Once we come out of edit mode, then we can't tinker with those things. They're already set. So now the video will just sit here and it will loop over and over until we advance to the next slide. All right, here's our little town of Bethlehem. Then our scripture verses. And finally, our final slide. And we're done. We can turn off our screens, and we're finished for the day. So I hope that is kind of a good basic walkthrough of all the panels. There's so many things that this will do. It's kind of amazing to me. I'm going to show you one little thing here that I kind of call a hack. Now, you can't really type things into this like you would with PowerPoint, but there's a back way to do that. And let's see if we can find it here. If we go over to Songbooks and click on the Songbooks tab and go to Edit, we can add a new songbook. And so what I would just do is I make a songbook and I call it I can't spell, announcements. Okay. All right, once we have that there, we want to save up here with this save icon. Save. Notice that that will save a bunch of different things, which is good. And now that I have this hymnal called Announcements, I can add a new song to Announcements. And I'm going to call it Baptism. Okay. And then I will type in baptism. Wow. I'm not spelling well today. Baptism. Next week. See pastor for details. Now, this is listing itself as a verse. We'll save it again. Go up here to save. Yep, save the announcements, baptism. Now, let's drag that in here into our announcements up here. And go to here, and here we go. And then we're going to click down one. Okay. Now, it's popped up as a song. But we can go in here and we can edit a bunch of details about it. So we can put in a background. We can go over here to text and maybe give it different text. Or I guess green on green's not good. So different text. We can change the text size. Baptism next week. We can center it. Okay. And so we've made just a basic slide. I will notice here in backgrounds, you can add a video background to things. And they have several of them. So let's try a video background. There we go. Okay, and you'll see that it's the video background's going to play and automatically loop. All right, let's save that. And there we go. We have added a slide in where we can actually type text in to our video psalm without having to go build a text-based slide somewhere. We've kind of hacked it by making our own announcement hymnal where we can type in things. So anyway, pretty cool. I do want to say thanks to my friend Aaron Burden on Unsplash. He has some awesome content over there. So if you are looking for photos, go check him out. And he has some really beautiful pictures. This is an awesome pic of a snowy church. So cool. Anyway, I hope that helps you guys with this free resource. And don't forget that there are a ton of things. So even on the top here, a video psalm, you can click. There's a little YouTube thing. Will take you right to their video tutorials about how to do different things. They're going to get much more in-depth. And here's all their social across the top. And then you can also send them an email and ask questions. I'm not going to be able to answer 1,000,001 questions about how to use Video Psalm in my YouTube comments. So definitely check out their resources because they're going to have all the answers and they know it way better than I do. But I thought it would be cool to look through it and see if this is something that you guys could use for your tech ministry. So that's the walkthrough of Video Psalm. Now, for some of you, because it's a Windows-only program, that may be a deal killer. But for a lot of churches, this is an awesome free solution to run their screens and show all sorts of media easily and all together using one software instead of switching back and forth. Thanks for watching.